Please do me a favor before we get to it. If you can like and hit that subscribe button, I would appreciate it. And now, on with the show. All right, we are out on the drive and we are testing the newly installed K&N Typhoon intake on my 2023 BRZ. Very first thing I will talk about throttle response. So I'm out here on a higher speed road in Walliwa, close to Dole Plantation. But before I got out here, I was doing a little bit of street driving, and quite immediately I noticed that the throttle response is actually a little less responsive in very low speed driving. There's no doubt. I could attribute that to the computer relearning itself. I did disconnect the battery terminal, the positive terminal, as the K&N instructions required. So it's potential there's the computer relearning itself. So a little bit lost there. However, when I'm out here and there's obviously more of a ram air effect going into that large new airbox, I feel like the throttle response is much more feathery responsive, where it takes very little to get a lot out of the car, which is really fun. So if we're talking about trade-offs, I'm okay with a little less response at the low speed to have this just light as a feather breathe on the accelerator and you're cooking with grease. That sounds good to me. So let's talk about power. Down low, I don't think I gained anything. It is proven that up high, the K&N Typhoon intake does get you some gains. I personally feel like I can feel an increase, at least a little bit in torque, like a little bit of extra surge, and that's fantastic, because why I got this intake, believe it or not, isn't really tied to anything to do with throttle response or even power. I certainly didn't want it to lose power compared to what I had on before, and that was the JDM no charcoal filter intake I ordered straight from Japan. So I didn't want to have it worse than that, but in power. But I did want to increase sound. So I have one of the quieter exhausts. I have the HKS Lega Max Premium Maxivac, and I love it, and I'm not getting rid of it. It has the perfect note to me. It sounds very regal, refined. It doesn't wake up the neighbors, and I'm soon to be moving to a very restrictive place in the world, and I can't have a loud exhaust anyway. So how can I get a little bit more enjoyment from sound from the car? Well, I've heard other videos about the K&N, and I was like, wow, that sounds almost like old school exotic car as far as just rumbling right through your eardrums. That sounds good. I watched that other video that I'll link to, and it showed that the air-fuel ratio was perfectly maintained and there was a power gain. I'm like, hey, here we go, let's do it. And that's why it's on the car. So I'm gonna get to a nice set of pavement here so I can actually run through some gears and you can hear this for yourself. Let me tell you, this thing's pretty sweet. It's like, it's loud, it's not too loud, but yeah, it is, it's pretty wild. It's exactly what I wanted. So I'm gonna get onto some good turns here in just a second and let her rip. I ain't gonna lie, that felt pretty good, almost surprisingly good. Hey team, so it's been 2 weeks since I've had the K&N Typhoon intake on the car, and what I can tell you is I'm keeping it on 100%. So this intake, I mean, you heard it on the video, it sounds amazing. And I had some folks reach out on the forums and some of my other YouTube videos, and they asked, hey, did you have any kind of power increase? Did you feel anything different with the throttle? And what I can tell you is that my original perception of this intake was that there was a little loss of throttle response very, very early on, like going from a stoplight. However, once you got going, it was like feather light. So a huge improvement. Now that I've actually taken this for 2 more weeks, the computer, I really believe, learned itself with the new intake. When I had installed this, I had disconnected the battery, and I think during that new learning curve, there was a little bit of oddities early on in the throttle. When I say odd, nothing too crazy. It felt a little less responsive and spongy. Now that I've driven it for 2 weeks, it's amazing all the way through. I would even argue that the throttle on this now is a little bit more predictable. Subjective, whether it's better or worse, I think it's indifferent. But to me, my preference is I do like the throttle. As far as power, I don't think there's any question that there's a little bit of a torque gain. I would assume that there's a horsepower gain, at least high up in the RPMs and higher speed, but I can feel a little bit more of a push. We'll see what people that run dynos. I don't have that kind of access now. It is possible that the torque curve changed a little bit. Maybe the torque comes a little earlier on, a little stronger, and that's what I'm feeling as opposed to like peak torque increase. But overall, I love this thing. And now I'm gonna go over some of the other little details and a couple misses by K&N. So this actually called for 2 pieces of thermal tape, this stuff, and I put it on properly. It was on the very bottom side in the back, and just after maybe 2 drives, that stuff was on the bottom of the engine bay where that steel pan is on the very bottom, so like below the header. So not only did this tape right here actually fall off, but it posed a pretty serious hazard. I mean, that thing was right by the header. This could have melted. Certainly the adhesive could have flared up, and it could have got tied up into the actual serpentine belts and really caused a problem. So I think if you're going to install this, I would just skip this. It's not that big a deal. And if you want to, others have properly foil taped this box. And I think that's really the better way to go, because this right here is garbage. It's a waste of time, so don't use it. The other thing, and if you've seen my short video, you know, I went ahead and tested the seal of this box. I hit it with some pool chalk and some tape, and in the little test, the tape stuck to the top. I had chalk lines on both sides, but nothing in the back. So the question is, does this K&N seal completely? And the answer is no, not up at the top. It does not do that. I don't believe that is anything serious to worry about, because you've got this snorkel, which, by the way, made it really well for me. I didn't have a problem. But anyway, the air is going to be coming through here, especially at velocity, the cooler air from the front of the car, and it's going to go into the box. I don't think we have to worry about too much hot air coming in, and even if it does, it's not like that's detrimental. I think you'll be fine. I'm not really gonna stress about it. I'm just gonna keep rolling. Some more pros on this. I think something that's underestimated with installing this kit is how much space opens up. Like, look at this. I can see down to the O2 sensor on the header. I can see the header, the underpan. I mean, this is a lot of room. So I think it cleans up the engine bay, on top of what I perceive as a little bit of a torque gain, a little bit of a horsepower gain, and certainly a monumental sound gain. So overall, in conclusion, I 100% recommend you guys pick this up. If you're not a little nervous with the dealer voiding warranties and things like that, then go for it. Otherwise, I'll stand by, I would say the second best option is maintaining like a JDM airbox or cutting out that charcoal filter. So whatever floats your boat, but I'm sticking with this. I absolutely love it. And when I drive the car now, it is so much of a improvement just on excitement when I'm about 3/4 throttle above. And I just adore it. It makes it more fun, and I'm probably getting significantly worse gas mileage now because I'm always in it. So anyway, team, thank you as always for watching. If you liked what you saw, hit the like and push the subscribe button, and we'll see you another day. So until then, be safe, and as always, drive on.